Hello, and welcome to the Life of the Party. We are NyxRising Industries. I'm your host for the ball this evening, JD Byrne. Some call me a dungeon master. You're most cordially invited to join us at the ball, gracious of Sir Haitius Valentinian. Are you ready to go?
Oh yes, please.
Cue that title sequence. We catch up with our adventurers, their bonds increasing and improving as a party, spending more and more time in Shadebourne, some in the barracks, now identified with the sun painted on the door, some staying at the courtesy of the family Zalvier, wealthy jewellery magnates. The party have been going through the city, investigating leads on the sprees of murders going around lately, distributing food to the poor and helping out, having a lot of well-needed conversations with each other, exploring outside the city a little bit, and generally accomplishing a lot of goals. They've now been spending some time with the Zalviers, preparing themselves for the ball, and are making their way off. You're riding in the carriage. You ride for about an hour. The carriage rolls to a halt, and you hear the clicking of the attendant's boots as he descends from the top of the carriage. Light spills in as the door opens, and you see before you Manor Valentinian. A flagstone path, flanked by trimmed bushes with dark blue leaves, leads up to the house, a beautiful manor of fine dwarven architecture. 2 granite pillars flank the heavy open doors and an archway gorgeously inscribed with runic patterns. Every panel of stonework, which makes up the impressive walls, are detailed with more of these incredible inscriptions, forming geometric angular patterns. Music can be heard softly from within, and a number of attendants, dressed uniformly in navy blue waistcoats over silk shirts, welcome guests with soft smiles and trays of drinks. You are offered a handout, and once you all step out, the door is closed and the carriage moves off to the side. The Zalviers, nearby stepping out of their carriage, give you a smile and step forward.
Shall we? This place is beautiful.
I'm very uncomfortable in these boots. I'm used to not feeling the ground underneath me. I feel like I'm not walking at all.
It's one night Boblem, I'm sure you can bear it.
He pulls at his jacket a bit.
No.
Stops his feet a little bit and goes, yeah, I guess.
I think you look really good.
You do.
Thank
We all
you.
do.
I think we all look lovely.
Come on, we should hold them up. Yes.
Yeah.
You're led into the house, with coats and furs if you wear them, taken if you wish. You step into a carpeted hall with high ceilings and portraits of finely dressed dwarves lining the walls. A couple who arrive before you lead the way, about 20 paces ahead, pointing out the artwork and speaking in excited but hushed tones. You walk through, coming to an open set of double doors and an attendant waiting for you. Esteemed guests, the family is Zalvier. We are most delighted. And how might we introduce your companions? How would you wish to be introduced?
I will give my full name.
Okay.
I would just give the name of these.
Mm-hmm.
Vanden and Astra.
Boblem.
Sariel saying
Cassian Bravani.
You're led through the doorway, and you're standing at a semicircular balcony, looking out over a stunning sight. You see a beautiful ballroom with probably 200 people on a tiled, marble deep blue floor. Where the tiles meet, they're inlaid with intricate stars of gold, creating an image of the heavens above. Beautiful, ornate smoked glass windows look out to the south terrace and tiers beyond from one wall. A magnificent set of ebony stairs curve around and down from where you stand, leading down the ballroom itself. Where the walls end and begin to slope up to the high vaulted roofs, a row of shields bearing heraldries line the wall, and hanging from the ceiling is a chandelier that just glitters in the candlelight. Over 200 people fill the space in extravagant gowns and outfits, dripping in jewellery and wealth. Masks of beasts, monsters, simple lace designs, religious figures, or iconography of nature on everyone's face, either tied on permanently or held in one hand. The palette of the ballware seems to be mostly in deep black tones, smoky greys, regal blues, or shimmering white, pearl and silver. Gold, sapphires, and diamonds hang from people's necks and ears, adorn their hands and wrists. Ornate weaponry rests at some people's hips, often in beautiful ceremonial armour or regal military uniform. Completely impractical for combat, but lavish, and surely costing enough to feed a battalion for a month. The attendant's voice rings out, catching you from a moment of wonder, announcing you. Vanden of Arsham 4, Elyse, Verdant Astra, Boblem, Sariel Sehenin, Cassian Ravani. The guests look up and politely as you make your way down your stairs. Would you like to describe how you're dressed?
Sure.
You go around.
Okay, Vanden is dressed in a white Regency style shirt and black breeches with a sleeveless white doublet over the top. No fastenings down the front, instead there's like a ornate gold filigree embroidery design down the front of it. And it fastens down the back with a tight corset lacing, which is what Cassian did up for me. He has a mantle of like silver and grey fur over one shoulder.
Yeah.
And it's attached with an aiguillette sort of cord with a large ornamental starburst made of diamond on a brooch.
Nice, okay.
He has a dark blue sash around his waist that fades down into a black, and sort of as it catches the light it shimmers like the night sky. Knee-high black boots that lace all the way up the back, heeled. And he has Jocelyn's rapier at his side and a sword belt.
Nice.
Oh, and on top of his head, where his hair is hanging down, he is wearing a gold crown of laurel leaves.
Nice. Okay.
Elyse is dressed in what some people would recognise as traditional Ospean formal wear, in a vibrant purple with bright gold and turquoise blue accents. So she's wearing a lehenga choli, which is a cropped sleeveless top and long high-waisted skirt, which falls higher in the front than the back, and under that she's wearing dhoti trousers and pointed shoes in the same colour scheme. Down her right side is a silk sash in turquoise and gold, and her outfit's trim is adorned in diamond and star-shaped patterns. She's still wearing her own golden armlets as well as her black leather gloves. Her bright blue hair is braided down one side of her head, and around her neck is a thick choker set with purple and blue gemstones, and beneath that sits what the party will probably recognise as her arcane focus, shrunk down to the size of a necklace pendant with its chain tied around the back of her neck. And on her exposed skin beneath that, the old and faded scar that goes across her chest and onto her left shoulder will be visible as well. Her mask is an asymmetrical half mask in the same colour scheme with a decorative golden wing going off the left side.
Spicy!
Okay.
Astra?
Astra is wearing a one-piece sleeveless black outfit with a low-cut V-neck to his waist and straight trouser legs that widen out towards the bottom. The torso is embroidered with motifs of oak leaves and acorns in gold, as are the bottom of his trousers. His belt looks like twisted roots around his waist, and a similar fixture holds a sheer black cape with more embroidery on his shoulders that drapes almost to the floor. His hair is loose for the very first time and comes to his mid-thighs in soft waves. Near the spade of his tail is a cuff, and the spade now bears a new hoop piercing. There's also a small pouch embroidered with small roots attached to the back of his belt, and his mask covers the top half of his face, dark midnight blue in colour, which fades to lighter at the top. Covering the mask and the eye holes are twisted twigs and branches pointing up his face.
Nice.
Astra is also wearing the black eyeliner that Cassian did for him, with some smoky-eyed gold at the top and also gold glitter along his cheekbones and under his eyes.
That's
What he deserves!
beautiful.
Thank you. Boblem is wearing black trousers, black jacket and a black cape. The black jacket has a high neck and gold ivy leaves embroidered at the chest area. It goes from the neck down towards the bottom of the jacket. The cape is black velvet and a lining of gold silk on the inside. It has golden fern leaf motifs at the bottom of the cape on the outside, and also on the outside of the high neck of the cape. He's also wearing black boots, and at the top of the black boots there's a little like golden trim.
Yeah.
He's wearing a black mask with gold filigree details around the edge of the mask and a golden sun in the middle, the face of a sun.
Nice. Okay.
Sarah's going to drift over and sort of loop her arm with Vanden's. So she's sort of shied away completely from her regular colour palette. She's wearing a floor-length blood red silk gown with deep plunging V-neck neckline exposing her skin down to her navel. Over the top of the dress is a layer of intricately embroidered red lace with sheer lace sleeves. Her shoulders are embellished with 2 black epaulets made of dark spikes and feathers and draping pewter chains down each arm. She's wearing a matching necklace of pewter chains and droplet rubies that look like blood drops down her skin. There's more red crystals and rubies embellishing the lace of the dress. Her hair is half up, half down, and a waterfall of white waves are cascading down her back, and there's a crown of black spikes on top of her head. In place of a mask, she's wearing a blindfold of black gauze that she can see through, but others can't see into. She's the look is finished off with glossy scarlet lips and black polish on her nails, which have been sharpened into points. And she's wearing Vanden's signet ring on her thumb.
Nice.
So none of her scars are visible.
Nice.
Cassian has gone for something he believes will fit in nicely with the Shadebourne aesthetic. A simple 3-piece suit, white shirt, deep blue waistcoat, and an even darker, just slightly off black kind of blue jacket that sort of goes down to his knees. Along the collar, cuffs, and all the way down the edges of the jacket are these cascading golden wave patterns. At his collar, he's got a plain white ascot with a spiral shell pin, holding it in the middle, and in the center of that is just a single blue gemstone. Just smart black trousers and black and gold moccasins for shoes. And then his mask, it's like he had a full mask and it's cracked open, so he's got 2 halves of a mask on either side of his face. And then in the middle is just this golden band that exposes his eyes, and you can see framed nicely his new, 3rd eye, golden henna, and it is almost as if he's wearing a mask of many faces. And just before he sort of steps into the room, he places a hand over his chest and mutters to himself, "You will be my ears tonight. I expect good feedback later." And marches off.
Okay.
We fancy!
That's what we decided.
All eyes are on you as you, in 2 separate points, go down the sides of the stairs and converge at the bottom. Sariel, you notice no one else is in red here. You knew about the not dress code, but the colour palette, and
Yeah, I did.
obviously the statement itself. But there are a lot of people just looking over the 6 of you. Many eyes on the Zalvias as well, but there are a lot of eyes on you, certainly. You converge at the bottom of the stairs, and the sort of dance floor extends before you. There isn't a dance at the moment. You've got probably half an hour before the first dance begins. So right now people are just mingling, are talking with each other. You see attendants moving through with trays of drinks, sparkling flutes of champagne and small beautifully made canapes and preparations. Attendants line the halls and every wall, just waiting for someone to request something. What would you like to do?
Put a hand on Sariel's hand on my arm. Let me know. Anything you need, just let me know, okay?
You too.
Converge with the others at the bottom of the 2 staircases again.
He's staring around wide-eyed at everything.
So is Astra.
Same with Boblem.
You hear from above, announcing Lady Ashani, Overseer General. You see a dwarven woman step up to the top of the balcony, elegantly dressed in this marble grey tailored suit and take on what's a classic dwarven war mask, but ornately embellished in ivory. You see to the sides of her 2 lizard folk, armed and armoured, each bearing what seem to be 2-handed swords behind them, standing firm and proud behind her. Both of them masked as well and armoured, and where their masks are, they have this array of green, like dark green to almost black feathers spraying up in front of them. They all walk down the side and begin to mingle with people as well. Every couple of minutes, you hear a new person announced. You hear Sir Reinsgate announced. the Cranwell siblings all. You see three people with traces of elven and dwarvish lineage. You see the two who seem to be of younger age and one slightly older. You see of the two younger, one male, one female. The man, thinning black hair, like slick back and patchy facial hair, and sort of glowering. And then standing next to him, a woman who looks very similar to him, but longer hair and tumbling back down and holding herself up with her shoulders back and chest forward. Standing just behind them, another clearly related as well, but much older, well not much older, about 10 years older perhaps, with high cheekbones and the same long dark hair but elegantly puffed and waved. All of them with these matching ivory masks on, and they take steps down and move in. Soon after, you hear Sir Buckmere announced this, what seems to be a very chivalric knight with wavy blonde hair and his cobalt mask, which just looks studded, beautiful, beautiful gemstones, and armour which looks completely impracticable for a ball. This blue tinted armour which looks almost like mother of pearl, and it's just covered in what look to be medals and awards, and he just clink, 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 clink as he comes down, sort of swaggering down and passing a look over all of you.
Oh, well, we'll hear it if he hits the dance floor.
I would like to see that. Everything looks so beautiful.
Yes, we're supposed to mingle now. I don't know what any of you want to do.
I would quite like to meet. I would quite like to meet our host if he's here.
Yeah.
Same here.
Okay.
Elyse would have also, like, seeing Sariel in that dress without the scars. She won't say anything at all, but she would have just kind of been like, okay. Mental note.
Make a perception check.
Is that everyone?
One person with advantage, if they want.
Okay.
To represent the group looking out for them. Okay. In the time, you hear Commander Osgim announced.
Dirty 20.
Okay. You see someone in a man with dark skin, a long oiled beard, sort of like silver wire, like wound through it, long dark hair, slicked back, wearing what seem to be long graceful robes, long pale skirts and flowing sleeves, chest exposed with a number of scars carved across his chest, toned, strong arms. You see where there are slits in the robes, scale mail can be seen underneath, and you can hear this like rushing of water as he moves through. You can see the chest, like yours, exposed down to the navel, very intentionally showing off like a muscled torso and many scars underneath.
Wow.
You hear also announced High Priest Elvenath, a High Priest of Bahamut, in a draconic mask and shoulder plates resembling scales, a long toga-like robe in shimmering silver white, and Stormcaller Lamella, the High Priest of Cord. You see the dark blue-black skin of a water genasi in appropriately flowing robes of deep ocean blue, bare arms and tattoos of lightning all up her arm, a mask made out of a thin sheet of blue-grey stone, which is completely featureless and unadorned, with just two slits for eyes. Okay. Dirty 20, did you say?
Yes.
Okay. You've had a description of Haitius Valentin in the host. It takes you a little while. You move through the groups and sort of mingle through. Some people stop you and look you up and down and bid you good evening as you pass through. You see them a little while off. You see a stout old dwarf with a bald head, tidy beard and moustache, a monocle, wearing a long coat of deep blue with copper embroidery, white shirt with ruffles around his neck, holds a walking stick which seems to be made of obsidian, which has a creature's head on the top, a dwarven half mask of copper. You see, standing with him, pretty close, a human man in his late 50s with light brown skin. You see kind eyes behind another ornate matching mask and short, swept-back white hair, a matching tailored coat to his husband, although with a number of what seem to be medals as well, a sheathed sword at his hip. The mask seems to have like twisting scales and serpents all across it. You see them from a little while off. You
approaching, yes.
Okay.
I suppose we all are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it, sorry, just to clarify, is he like a lord or would it be like councilman?
It's actually Lord Councillor. Are you attempting to
Lord Councillor.
listen to anything they're saying before you go straight up? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just making sure I'm getting the introductions
Okay.
right.
But yes, it will be Lord
Yeah.
Councillor.
Lord Councillor, okay. Yeah, pricking ears up.
Okay. You hear Sir Laurel poking up. Darling, you're frowning again. We spoke about the frowning. I've every right to frown. It's my party. It's my house. Yes, I know. But the people we've invited here want to see you smile. Want to see that you're happy to have them here. So they'll get to like you. If they like you, they'll vote for you. You know that's how the game's played. Pah! I couldn't give a bailiff's bottom if they like me. I've done this for them, haven't I? Played their little game, invited them to my house, shared my wine and meat. I can't stand it. My time and efforts could be better spent elsewhere. My money could be better spent elsewhere. You know, the people who need it. Think of how many people you could help with that money. With the city's money, if you win that vote, darling, you could make real change. This is just one miserable step we have to get through. This dreadful dance in order to get there. We just have to smile tonight. For a few more hours. Talk to the right people. I'll be right here with you. Please do stay here with me. I don't think I could stomach this charade without you. On my honour! I swear it! Oh, I've set you off now. Fine, let's have some more wine. I'll mingle. And at that, where they've sort of been like standing at the side, they begin turning off and like head slightly in your direction, and like making to move like in your direction. We'll go past you. Sort of nod. Saying anything? Are you stopping it?
Lord Councillor.
Esteemed guests.
Yes, guests of the Zavirs?
Ah, I'm good friends with Arducine.
Yes.
How might you be known?
Prince Vanden of Mirrortail.
Oh, Prince and my little soiree. We've done rather well for ourselves, haven't we? Aye.
Yes, we appreciate the invitation.
Yes, we've heard good things about you.
That's so. That's so. What sort of things?
Well,
I was particularly hoping to hear more about your policies. We know you're running for governor.
I suppose, and the rest of you?
Cassian Ravani, also of Mirrortail.
In Dwarven, I will say, my name is Elyse. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Replies back in the same tongue. Ah, you speak the good tongue. Very curious looking dwarf if I ever see one. But, you know, come in all shapes and sizes and shades.
Welcome to Astra.
Pleasure.
Boblem from my farm.
Farming's an important pillar of our community,
Thank you.
my lady.
Sariel of Sayanin, Lord Councillor, and she curtsies.
My lady. It's a pleasure to have you here. Let's move away from all this and sort of make a path through. And where they retreat back a little bit from the dance floor, people open up and give you like feet of space. There's a lot of people are like looking around like, oh, they're talking to the hosts. Oh. So Laurel pipes up and, so how long have you been in the city?
Only a number of days.
How are you finding it, if you don't mind me asking?
Do you want an honest opinion or the one that we should give you?
Honest opinion, I suppose.
A lot of change needs to happen.
Aye! Hold on. I've been saying for too long. But, you know, change takes time.
Well, it's encouraging to hear that there's someone here who does want things to change.
Aye, everyone has their reasons, but I've spent my time in the city. I've seen what it's like.
Have you been to the lower tiers?
Aye. Unfortunately. Not that I disregard going through them, it's a painful sight. Laurel Souls puts his hand on his shoulder and squeezes it.
This is simply the state of things, if the state does not change.
Aye, well, hopefully we can enact change one day, and that some drinks come round and takes one, beautiful crystal glass filled with maybe like a dark rum, something similar. See like an orange inside as well, a slice.
I guess you filled the right glass. Lots of change can happen.
I suppose so. I'm a bit too old for riddles, but I get the meaning.
It seems like you're playing some sort of game tonight, is my...
Politics is nothing but a game. I'm sure you know.
I do understand.
I've not been to Miratail in many a decade. How is the city these days?
And it sort of pales for a second, but puts on a smile anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful as ever.
I'd say, given the circumstance, maybe deception check.
Considering. I'm gonna use one of my superiority dice to give myself advantage on this. 15?
I'm glad to hear it. I would love to spend more time by the sea.
It is beautiful by the sea.
It is.
You should visit.
I would love to. Work is a unfair mistress.
And I suppose there's a lot of work to be done here.
Aye, plenty. Turn you back for one evening. Who knows what can happen?
What changes do you propose to bring about should you be elected?
How much time do you have?
All evening.
I will happily talk to you about... Let me start with... My family built these walls to protect the people of this city. When the walls do nothing to protect the people and fence in, keep them apart from each other, keep people from rising up, because they failed in their purpose. I propose the gates should be kept open. As much as symbolically I'd love to have my great-great-grandfather's walls torn down. Structurally they're very important, but free movement through the city. Redistribution of accumulated wealth which is in the wrong places. Aid. Increased numbers of the guards down in the lower tiers. They've been taken advantage of for too long and they pay the price in blood.
Mm.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but it's been a particularly catastrophic time in the lower tiers.
We've had all the murders.
In plurals, like. Let's keep it on politics for now, without any of the gory details. Remember? Aye. I'd be happy to discuss with you more in time. I'm sorry, this isn't the tone you're looking for when you come to these things. I have an office on the 4th tier where I conduct business of governance from. I'd be happy to have you in and talk to you about.
We'd be more than grateful to meet you there. I have plenty of ideas about welfare and aid that we could implement here.
I'd like that. Maybe now's not the right time.
Understandable.
I am working, but you seem interested.
Unfortunately, we're staying on the 4th tier, so...
So it couldn't have worked out better.
Yeah.
Convenient. That's the district I look over.
Oh.
Where are you staying? What district, if you don't mind me asking?
We were in the Anvil Hold.
Yeah.
House with a sun on the door.
A house with a sun on the door. I can't say I know it, but the Anvil Hold's a special place in my heart. I miss the smells of the area.
Well, I may look forward to speaking with you another time, perhaps more in depth.
I'd like that. Please, if you'll excuse me, I need to rub shoulders with all the right people.
I understand.
You can find me again throughout the night. I'd love to talk about ideas for my campaign. Would you?
I would love to. We would, wouldn't we?
Yes.
Yes.
We'll leave you to it.
Pleasure. It was wonderful getting to speak to you.
You too.
I look forward to seeing you more.
Nice meeting ya.
Likewise. Anyway, wander off and mingle. You see them speaking with Sir Reinsgate. Who's clad in like elements of like matte black armour, not a full suit, enough to sort of incorporate him into something that allows him to move.
Well, that was informative.
Yeah. I'm kind of impressed. Surprised, to be honest.
I'm very interested in speaking to him to some extent.
Yeah.
Seems like a nice person
Mhm.
and is wanting change in the right places.
Yeah.
It's all the right ideas, yeah.
We'll see.
Free movement between tiers could really help the people.
For sure.
Now he just has to convince this rabble.
Well, surely we can do something with that.
I'm sure we can. The first dance, I'm sure, will be starting soon.
It does start shortly. Before that, you hear the announcements of 2 more politicians. You hear the announcement of Ewell Lothenweir, a middle-aged sort of human man, high-collared, deep purple jacket with stars across the breast. Behind his mask, balding and pale, has his glass, like a smoked glass. He holds a handle on it. It sort of keeps it up on his hand, on his face for a second, and then just drops it down. Doesn't seem too bothered with keeping it up. Shortly after, you see flanked by bodyguards as well. Elderly gnome with long white hair and a sort of pinched face. You hear announced Governor Berit Jar. You see a drow and a human, armed and armoured in the finest dress kit, flanking him, and Jar himself, in robes of office and flowing black, his pendant of office, and a mask woven of black wicker. Sort of gives a... and then follows Lothenweir down the stairs where they sort of retreat over to a corner, speaking with each other. Is there anything you'd like to do before the dance starts?
Just taking everything in. Yeah. Every person, every detail in the room.
I would like to go over towards Berit and just listen slightly.
Okay.
And the same with Ewell, if we get a chance.
Okay, we're close together at the moment. You're not able to get too close, so make a perception check.
That says 15.
Okay. So hang around and gather a drink from nearby and just sort of look as if you're busy. You hear you all open up conversation. My Lord Governor, how fare the night? My Lord Councillor, the night fares well. I'm readily supplied with pleasantries already, and the folk are in good spirits. I trust I can count on your support in the upcoming election. My! No time for small talk in the realms of Councillor Lothenweir, is there? I meant no presumptions, my lord. I simply know you're a busy man. I wish not to keep you from the night's festivities. Stop! Enough of your blabbering, Lothenweir. Yes, you can count on my support in the coming election. You've done well to impress me. I have no doubt my legacy will be held safe during your term. My Lord Governor, that means an incredible deal to... Yes, I know. But you need to understand, Lothenweir. It's not just me you need to impress. You need to make good on the promises you made to the right people. You need to keep things flowing in the right direction, as we spoke of. Yes, my lord, of course. They were doing very well below that. Lothenweir, shut your damned mouth! For something with an ounce of grey matter crawls in there. He's like whispering. He looks around, makes eye contact with you, Vanden, or if you're looking away, looks at you. But you're able to hear it still. This is the place to talk about that. Get out of my sight before I have your candidacy offered to my dogs. Lothenweir moves quickly, pushes past you, his shoulder checking you a little bit, his head's down. Jar stands around. And the 2 figures sort of close ranks around him, and you see him turn to the side and sipping something.
What an incredibly rude man.
You see a lady who's nearby who's... Yeah, it's most unfortunate, but you know how these politicians be.
And you would be?
It was Rera.
Bless you.
Rera Zor.
Azor. Charmed to meet you.
Likewise. You see a drow in this light purple dress, which is the same colour as her skin, so sort of from a distance out the corner of her eye, you would have thought, oh boy, she's nude. But no, it is just perfectly tailored to match the colour of her skin. It's very form-fitting at some points, but sort of after the hips, flow down. There's this long trail behind her. Silver bangles on her wrist and a mask of just silver chains, which hang over her face. And white hair, like, done up in an updo.
What an incredible dressing, when I say so.
Don't look half bad yourself.
Thank you. So what do you think of the politicians?
Which ones? Those? Lords below, I wouldn't waste my time thinking about them. There's far more exciting things.
Of course.
I mean, look at where we are. This is the event of the year.
Of course it is.
I mean, yes, it's an aid of some politician or another running for something or another, but...
I'm sure for running this, Lord Valentin, you could use your vote.
Oh, no, I shan't be voting.
Why not?
Well, I don't know. I've not voted before.
Well, you could start now.
Yes, I suppose, but...
Don't you care about who's in power?
No, of course not. What difference does it make?
Of course, understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard Lothway is running and he's a bit of a bore. I mean, I suppose I'll throw a vote for Valentinian if I must, but I mean, it's a wonderful party he's put on, and if he puts on parties like these, imagine what he could do with... Have you heard that they're called political parties? It could...
I had.
It's fascinating.
And imagine the parties. Valentin, you would throw them all year round, I'm sure.
Wouldn't you want to vote for somebody that throws good parties?
Yeah.
I would.
Like this?
Look at all these drinks and everything.
But that's the thing, you have to put a vote in, otherwise they're not going to be any more parties like
Okay,
this.
well, I'll think about it.
Otherwise, someone that's a bore might win and then there will be no parties.
Sariel, would you care to follow me this way?
Please.
Sounds with you. Walks away.
That's the real problem with this city, okay? Everyone's down all the time and there aren't enough events or parties to, keep people entertained.
Well, if you think Lothway is a bore, he's definitely not going to throw any parties like this.
You're right. Oh, Lords below. Well, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you at the voting scales, I assume. That's all just like gracefully works off.
Oh my god.
What she means she don't care?
Because it doesn't make a difference to her, personally. Whispering very quietly.
Yeah.
Just take a deep breath, hold it in around these people, and later we'll go somewhere quiet and scream.
Boy, am I gonna scream later.
We have those training dummies. We can take it all out on them.
The dance is announced.
As I am leading Sariel towards the dance floor, I would just like to do a little scan around the room and see who looks like they've already had a few drinks, who looks like they'd be an easy target for some schmoozing.
Sir Buckmere looks like they have already had many a few drinks. So Sir Buckmere looks pretty young, and you're able to hear from fairly far away. I don't know what you're talking about, huh? Of course this is my house. Yes. And I made the myself.
There's a lot of that guy.
Sarah sort of whispers in, leans into Cassian. Do you have a plan this evening?
I have a plan to put many ears in many pockets.
What can I do to help you?
You know what? I'll give you a handful of bracelets and necklaces.
Mm-hmm.
And give those out to as many people as you can.
I can do that.
I trust you.
But first, shall we dance?
Yes, I would like that.
Music takes up and people flood into the dance floor. They take up positions, and one of the dances you practiced yesterday takes up. Couples form, and where there are groups of couples, they sort of form in like two separate couples which dance with each other and switch between each other. Each dancing pair rotate with each other and in turn spiral around the whole dance floor. About 15 minutes of dancing are going on, and the music takes up in its full swing, and you are able to lose yourself in a little bit. And there are probably about half the guests in the entire place are on the dance floor. You're in the middle of the dance, music is in high swing, the air is heady, and you're able to let a little bit of stress off. Is there anything you're doing while you're dancing?
Start with, I'm going to dance with Astra.
Yay!
And just keep an eye out for what the Zalvias are up to, if we can spot them.
Yeah. You can see Imril and Irea dancing together. You see Arducine and Boa are at the side, just sort of enjoying the view.
Yeah. And just keeping an eye out for if there's anybody I recognise, or anybody that I recognise is coming from not Shadebourne,
Let's have a look.
or whether this is like a Shadebourne exclusive party.
You don't recognise anyone from outside, I'd say. No.
Just dances with you then.
Yeah. You having a good time, Astra?
It's beautiful here. Thank you for teaching us how to dance.
I'm surprised you picked it up so well, considering you didn't practice. You seem to be good at that.
Just always watch and learn that way.
These functions are not really my thing. I'm feeling slightly claustrophobic. Right. Yes. But it's fine. We can get through the evening. It's one evening.
Let me know if you want to get some air.
I will.
I'm dancing with Boblem.
Dance with Elyse as best as you can.
How's it going in the boots?
They hurt, you know?
Oh, I can imagine if you're not used to wearing them.
Really hurts? How do you guys do this?
Do you have blisters?
Probably.
Well, I'm sure Astra or Sariel can sort it out for you later.
Just walk around like this all day, not feeling the ground underneath your feet. Don't feel natural at all.
You're a funny one.
Thank you.
While we're dancing, I just want to keep an eye out for where Stormcaller Mellow is.
It spends a few minutes dancing and then heads off afterward and disappears into like a side room and then comes back out. You see it go out onto the balcony for a little bit,
Okay.
sort of keeping eyes and then come back in.
Yeah.
Sort of just moving around the outside, talking with a few other people.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'll be like keeping note of where she is.
Would have sort of surreptitiously sort of spoken to Cassian about what sort of people he was looking for, and while we were dancing sort of scoped out the room as well, which would be pretty easy to do surreptitiously with this blindfold on.
I imagine we're both sort of keeping eyes as we spin around.
I can't remember his name. You described a guy with like slicked back hair and like...
Didn't actually give you his name,
Okay.
so
he wasn't announced.
He was, but as one of the, they were announced as the Cranwell siblings.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. Would sort of clock him at one point and maybe tense a bit in Cassian's arms, but carry on.
You see him, he's decidedly not dancing. You see his twin and his older sister do both dance with separate people, but you see him sort of with his cane, just like at the side, sort of like glowering at everything and occasionally like chewing his nails or like picking out like patches of facial hair.
Cassian tells you while we're dancing that he's looking for people who might have further information or people who are just chatterboxes, just to either slip something into their bag when they're not looking, or once you've gotten to know them a bit, offer them a token as a jewel from Mirrortail.
I can do that.
After 50 minutes the dance changes to something like slightly slower, or it seems that people essentially group up in one large thing where they form a circle and then two lines, and people cross over from side to side and join together in the middle and dance, then move back apart. You take part if you wish.
I drop out of the dance at this
I
point.
drop out of the
Me
dance.
too.
Can we practice this one?
Astra will stay in the dance.
It's easy enough to get into and to follow, and you take the lead of some people near you, and they all seem rather enamoured at this like pale green tiefling.
That's just lost in the rhythm.
Yeah. Boblem, you step over to the side and stop to take a drink and grab a breath for a few seconds, and you hear like a small like giggle from behind you. You see what seem to be two young female drow, sort of in these beautiful like black velvet dresses, who both seen you come very close and just go like a bright purple across their cheeks and across their collarbones as well.
Hello?
Hello.
He goes to reach for his hat but then forgets he doesn't have
I'm Sonia. I'm Selena.
Your sisters?
Yes.
Ah.
She's older though.
Walk past behind me and just go, he'd love to dance with both of you.
Oh, that'd be wonderful, wonderful. No, Selena, it's okay. You can take that. Sonia. And they say something very quickly in a language that you don't understand. No, you don't speak Undercommon, do you?
No.
Okay. You hear something? We'll take turns. If that's alright. So.
Yeah, sure, just kind of like starts at the car, very ready to face. No, sorry, Vanden.
Sorry.
Very ready to face. Just, this is like the second time I've ever danced before, so.
That's okay. You're so tall. Pulls a pin out of her hair, and her hair like flushes down around her.
Oh!
He's very confused. He's like, very nice.
Sonia takes your hand and walks and looks back at Selena, just grinning ear to ear. Who's got like a pursed face and sort of looking around at the rest of you and like. So like eyes raised, like holding their hand up. Puts it down. Takes yours and like her smart starts up as well. Sonia, who takes your hand, leads up to the dance and whoop, presses up rather close.
This is close.
Yes.
That's not how I practice that.
Here, let me show you. And begins leading you in the dance as well. You're able to see your very nervous face reflected in like these like teardrop diamond earrings that she has.
Very wide eyes.
What do you do
Ah,
as you're dancing?
I have a farm.
Oh, you own land.
My grandparents own it. I don't know if we own the land since it moves, but
Sorry. Pardon? Stop dancing for a second. Why does the land move?
not the land, the farm.
Oh, I see. I don't, but it's okay.
What do you do?
Well, I work in the legal profession, I suppose.
Oh,
Yes, I work for the Temple of Bahamut, and
what you do there?
well, we ascertain the truth in legal situations.
Yes, I know what that entails.
It's a very respectable profession, you see.
Sounds fancy.
Not as fancy as you.
Yes, Boblem.
Get some! You cut a very clean line, Mr. Boblem.
No.
You look sharp.
Thank you. I did bathe today.
I'm glad. I don't think I'd be dancing with you if you hadn't.
Your dress looks lovely.
Thank you. My mother made this.
That's nice.
Well, looks like the dance is over. I hope to be... Maybe we can dance again later.
Yeah, maybe that'd be nice.
Come find me. Bring me a drink later. I like strawberry wine.
Oh. Okay, I'll remember that.
Bye for now. Bye for now.
Have a nice evening.
I sort of moves back to where she was, and there's a sort of gaggle of other people, men and women, who bring her into the circle. And you hear,
Vanden? What's happening?
I think she likes you, Boblem. She likes the cut of your jib.
My what?
Never mind. Come on.
Okay.
you give them some time. The dance finishes, and the dance floor opens up again, so people just wandering through and taking drinks, and food is passed around.
So Boblem hold a glass to his face and be like, cool.
You do see her still looking over at you from the other side of the ballroom, like occasionally, and at one point just...
She's very pretty.
Yeah, she is.
I'm trying to get a gauge of Boblem's reaction. Like, I don't understand what you're not getting.
How was the dance with her sister?
Oh, fine. I think they're both interested in you.
You did see she was like looking over her shoulder at points, like angling you, like...
I didn't stop her. I made sure I tried to.
Get a nice view of the boy.
She was very gracious, like...
Feeling down in her ear, he's very handsome, isn't he?
As the first dance comes to a close, I will sort of pat Sariel on the shoulder and give her a wink, and then I will go off to schmooze.
I'll go off in the opposite direction to schmooze.
Yeah, and again, like, the same sort of thing. Basically, going up to people and being like, isn't this party lovely? Your outfit is incredible. Like, oh, let me tell you this story from my father's homeland.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Australia? Oh, have you heard of this thing?
Oh, what's
so
your
exotic? It is really exotic. You know, I come from Mirrortail.
You come from Mirrortail?
Oh yes, by the ocean. It's very mysterious.
I've always longed to visit, but you know the mountains are my home.
I know, but do you ever wish to hear the sound of the ocean?
Always, but I have a conch. I have a seashell. I hold it up to my ear and I hear the sounds of the ocean. It's enchanted. I bought it from a wizard for 12,000 pieces of gold.
I mean, I have some smaller shells, but they definitely carry a sort of ocean magic to them.
I would love to have a listen.
Yeah, wear the earrings.
These have the same enchantment.
Sometimes these ones sing. If you're lucky.
And you're giving this to me for free?
Oh, it's a token of my gratitude to this event, to the city.
What was your name, sir?
Cassian Ravani.
Cassian Ravani. Taylor Lotai.
Pleasure to meet you.
You see them take it, put it up to their ear, and just pierce their long ear with it, like straight then and there. Like,
Wow.
Thank you very much.
it's a drop of blood and just...
Yeah. I like conviction. And this kind of cycle repeats with as many people as he can get.
I'll say you make a straight charisma check.
Oh, just okay. So much pressure.
Doesn't want to be in the tray.
Doesn't want to be in the tray. 16.
Okay, everyone you go to with that is receptive to the idea. Not all of them pierce their ears then and there.
I've got bracelets and necklaces as well.
But they're all receptive to this idea of free jewellery. It's exotic.
And this gilded seashell mirror tail jewellery. Okay.
Little time goes past, you hear the announcement of a Duchess Ginelon. You see this classically beautiful half-elf with tumbling red hair and high cheekbones in this backless black dress and long gloves. Sariel, you feel your heart stop for a second. You recognise her face from the vision.
What was her name again?
Duchess Ginelon.
Okay. I'll keep an eye.
You don't recognise the name at all.
No.
You don't recognise her.
No. I'll sort of, in my schmoozing, sort of surreptitiously sort of follow in the direction she's going and try and listen to what she's talking about.
Make a perception check as well.
11.
11. Okay. You miss the first of the conversation, but you see her speaking to a handsome male drow with silver hair, short at the side and slicked back over his head. Lots of piercings. A high-collared long jacket, like a Shivani. Black with gold embroidery. And this gravelly, deep, slow voice. Why, I've barely seen your husband at your side this evening. What could drag someone away from a treasure such as yourself? Barry, my lord, you flatter me so. Gratefully, this is nothing new. I am accustomed to my husband's inattentiveness. As of late, he so rarely finds my hand, being preoccupied with his new friends. My lady, this cannot stand. What a wretch would do such a thing? Forgive my speaking out of turn, it's most uncouth of me. Who is it that could draw the Duke's attention so, losing sight of a star such as yourself? She just you see her just roll her eyes Aren't you one for words? My Lord Valerian, I'm not sure if you know him. Not to be confused with our host, dearest Lord Valentinian, owns some estate off west, or has a private fellow. Well, in that case, let me be the one to offer you a dance, Duchess Ginelon, in the absence of the Duke. He takes her hand and you see her walk off with him. All the music's only softly playing, interlude. He takes her in his arms, they begin spiraling softly and slowly.
Is there any balconies or anything?
Yeah, so one of the walls goes off to a terrace, which looks out over the city. So the south wall essentially is mostly glass, like a huge floor-to-ceiling window, and some doors in it which lead out to the south terrace.
She's gonna just turn and go through the nearest one.
Yeah.
And try and find a quiet corner and have a fucking panic attack.
Yep. You see there are a couple of people outside, and most of them slowly, as you come through, you see one lady, or seems to be a high elf in a long, floor-length white dress with beautiful blonde hair, with golden bracelets all up her right hand, take stock of you and then they quickly move out. And 1 or 2 people come up afterwards and sort of looking over, and there's a young attendant, a dwarven man who's my lady, would you care for a drink? And just bringing a crystal flute of water.
Please. Takes it from him and sort of turns away.
Should you desire anything? Well, I'm just by the door.
Just need some air.
Granted. You stand on the balcony of the terrace, looking out, seeing the twinkling lights of the city below you, like this lit up wedding cake, mirroring this blanket of stars above you.
She tries to control herself with the knowledge that there are people watching her. Just doesn't make eye contact with any of them. Waiting for them to hopefully just go away.
Most of them go away. It's a large balcony. It's probably 60 feet across. So a couple of people are at the ends of it, but you're in the center of it. So the balcony itself, where the wall is flat, the balcony extends out like an arch essentially, out over the precipice, and you're at the peak of it, so the furthest away from the doors.
just going to stay out there for a while.
Okay. Is anyone else doing anything?
When we stopped dancing before, Elyse would have taken note of wherever Lamello was
Okay, yeah.
at that moment.
You see her in one of the corners, sort of engaging in like idle chit chat with people and frequenting herself, drinks and some food.
Yeah. Are they like near a drinks table or something like that? You said before something to do with Cord. What was it? A priestess? Or?
High priestess.
High priestess.
From what they're wearing, this would be pretty apparent.
Okay. Would even Elyse know that?
Like looks like the same uniform, but bougie.
Okay.
Like
you can see the connection.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you've seen a priest and then you see like
Real
like a high priest. Yeah, you know they're the same one.
Yeah.
That's what the Pope wears.
Yeah, exactly.
Lightning Pope. Yeah, Elyse would sort of go over to the drinks table. She would have definitely eyed up like the lightning tattoos when she first saw her. And so she'll head over to the drinks table nearest to where they are and sort of spend a bit of time deciding what she wants to drink and try to hear maybe a bit of what she's saying before she decides if she wants to speak to her or not.
It doesn't seem to be anything of importance or relevance. It's it is just purely just small talk.
Okay. Does it seem like a close group of friends, or is it the kind of
no, just
thing
sort of
where
associating with like
anyone
other
can
people
follow?
and other guests, a little bit about the coming election, and a bit about this is such a nice event, but nothing like major.
What are they saying about the election?
Just that it's coming up, and well, Haysha stands in good regard with a certain portion, sure, but does he really have the support of like the rest of the councillors? And that counts for a lot. Like, does he have the support of the higher tiers behind him? And sure, he makes waves down below, but like,
yeah, that's Valentinian's first name, right?
yes, Haysha's Vanden. Yes.
Yeah, Elyse will just kind of like pick up a glass and meld her way into this conversation and just say, I personally think Valentinian has a lot of promise.
Well, you seem educated then. I'm glad we share some opinions. I confess I don't know too much about him, but...
Well, I only just met him today, but I can already tell he'd be very good for this city.
Lucky you. I've not had the chance to meet him. This blasted thing. Unties the mask, which is this like featureless sheet of blue-grey stone carved to look like a face. Takes it off. An older woman, probably maybe like late 60s, but still like pretty toned. Sort of dark blue-black skin. Like crop short hair.
Yeah.
Do you attend these events often?
This is only the second one I've ever attended. I'm here as a guest of the Zovirs.
I'm not sure I know who they are.
Nice.
I'm not usually present at these things.
No, I heard when they announced you that you were a high priestess.
Yes, I'm the Stormcaller of the temple here.
Forgive my ignorance, I'm not particularly familiar with the gods. What does Stormcaller mean?
It's little more than a fancy name for someone who's been in the profession, the business, on the seas a long time.
On the seas?
Yes, I've been a sailor and a Stormcaller on board many ships and many seas for 60 years now. I found my service in the god Cord.
Yeah. That sounds incredible. So interesting. I'm a traveller myself.
Are you one of the faithful?
I've never really had much contact with the gods myself, but I did. I was in Lakeside a few weeks ago, and a priest at the Temple of Cord was very kind and helpful to me.
Well done.
And I have some affinity for elemental magic myself.
Well, it pleases me to no end to know that our temples are doing the right thing and are leaving a lasting, strong impression.
Yeah.
Thank you. You should come by sometime. We can see how our temples fare up in comparison.
Sure. Yeah, I'd like that.
Yes.
Do you mind if I ask? I hope this doesn't sound rude. Your tattoos are very beautiful.
They are, aren't they? It's a rite of initiation. Once you've been in the service long enough, you tattoo your arms and...
Oh, that's interesting. Is that normal in temples to court?
Yes, it's quite commonplace.
Okay.
But it's after you've been there for a certain time and 40 years of service. Learn my tattoos.
Impressive then.
Thank you. Please, I must away, but do.
Of course. Enjoy your evening.
Find me another point. This thing's sweaty as anything.
Suffering.
Ties it up and makes a striking pose through the crowd.
And he kind of just stands there in stunned silence for a little bit. Drinks.
Right, I suppose we should probably talk to our hosts. We haven't spoken to them all evening. The Zalbers, I mean.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
I thought you meant. Yeah.
You two doing okay? Not overwhelmed?
It's a lot.
It is. I told you I didn't like these things.
A lot of dancing.
I think it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. You enjoying it, Astra?
Mm-hmm.
Taking in all the sights, the sounds.
Just the atmosphere.
Yeah. You like pretty things, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you must really love this.
I do.
I'm sure everyone here thinks that Astra is quite a pretty thing.
You're not wrong.
Thank you.
I don't seem to have many tieflings around, so...
No, I suppose you're right.
I like your tail piercing.
Thank you.
Very much like a red piercer's.
Yes. Well, I liked what his looked like, so I figured...
You like his feathers, you like his tail piercing.
Well, I got my horns done because I like the Minotaur's horns. Just like how it looked on somebody. So
You're stuttering, Astra.
no, I'm not. You're stuttering. Does anyone else want a drink? I kind of want a drink.
I could use a drink.
The five of you congregate around the drinks table.
Cool.
You notice that Sariel's not there.
Has anyone seen Sariel?
No.
She went off the opposite way to me and I haven't seen her since.
I promised I wouldn't leave her. I'm gonna
Yeah.
take a look.
It doesn't take you long. She stands out. And blood red. You're able to see her out on the terrace.
She's outside. I'm gonna go see if she's okay.
She might just need some fresh air.
You head out. All of you pass the elf with the long blonde hair and the white dress who sort of like stops, like, ooh, like coming face to face with you and then like lets you all pass. Sort of like looks you all up and down just like like in amazement. Like, have a pleasant evening.
And you?
You
Just
too.
disappears into the crowd and you see Sariel out on the terrace.
Sariel?
She's mostly gotten over herself, but you can see she's still trembling.
Hey.
Hi.
Deep breaths. Is it too much?
No, it's not that. It's something else.
Do you want to tell us?
I-
Or later?
I don't fully understand it myself yet, so I don't know what there is to tell. Astra offers his hand out to her. Takes it and squeezes it a little bit.
She sort of leans past to sort of look back into the ballroom. Where's the red-headed woman?
Mingling, just dancing, like sort of like near the stairs.
Okay. Did she arrive with anyone?
No.
Okay.
Hmm.
Interesting.
She was announced just by herself, the Duchess of Ginelor. Sorry, Duchess of Ginelor, not Ginelor.
Okay.
I'd like to know more about her. I don't know if I can find out for myself for the moment, though.
I'm sure we can help. Of course, if you want.
We can have a word.
Please. We've got your sapling.
She licks her arm through Astra's.
It seems we have a task.
Why don't you and me go and mingle elsewhere? I'll go give out some more of Cassian's bracelets. Oh, okay.
So I've given out quite a few.
Made bracelets?
Yes.
Oh,
Chosen.
oh nice.
Let's go and see Sir Buckmere. Yes, let's do that. Oh, it's called Sariel to back in that direction when you guys do it.
How do we want to do this? Do we want to...
What are we asking?
Yeah, we don't really know what she wants to do, because I guess she doesn't know
I
herself.
suppose we just want to know who she is and what she might be doing here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
General schmoozing.
So sorry, who are you going towards? Buckmere or Ginal?
Astra and I are going to Buckmere.
The rest of us are going to General.
Okay. Go to Ginal. You see her standing sort of up against the back of the stairs, and you're able to like go up the stairs a little bit and wait above her, basically. Make a perception check, whoever wants to.
12.
16.
23.
One.
Okay.
You're struck by the twins staring at you.
Which they certainly are.
I didn't expect this, but I love it.
Looks at the ground.
You see Ginal standing with another woman, your arms linked around. They look pretty close. You see Ginal, her head is sort of into the other woman's ear, and they're speaking in pretty low tones. You three aren't able to hear Cassian. You're able to just pick things up. No? You're not able to get the full conversations. They are speaking pretty quietly, but talking about how dull-bodied is, and how it's such a shame that he dragged her away, and she cannot stand him, but she needs to keep up appearances, and the one who's near her suggests that they find somewhere quieter. You hear a soft giggle, and the two of them walk off and make their way to the other side of the room, and you see them head off through the double doors. Even after like listening to them for like 15 minutes, there's nothing else. It's basically just like small talk, and
They flirting.
they definitely. I'm not going to make you roll an insight check.
Like, they flirting. Come on.
yeah.
Harold!
Yeah, there is a very familiar sense about them. It seems like they've known each other for a long time. They are deep in this.
I bet.
They walk off, hands on each other's waists, and you do see like one or two looks turned, but far more interesting things in the night. But these two walk off together, but you hear no more mention of any other figures, of anything else, of anything that you report to Sariel.
We should wait until they get back.
Okay. Think they'll get back?
Well, I suppose someone's got to catch them eventually.
Oh my.
Good for them.
Anyone want to dance?
Sure.
I'm going to speak to Zavez.
Okay.
I will take you down to the dance floor.
As you're heading down, you hear a shout from somewhere in the middle of the dance floor. Monsieur! You hear Buckmere's voice ring out. You'll turn, and most of the crowd turn as well. You see Buckmere in his impossibly detailed and filaried armour, this sort of bluish silver metal, like detailing like leaves and vines and faces. And the rapier that was at his hip.
A jewel.
Excellent.
We almost.
He's just sort of has his finger out and is wagging it with like the rapier in his hand, and you see a man turn sort of like maybe like 10 feet away from him. This tall, broad-chested, coppery hair and beard, human man in the late 50s. You recognise this as Sir Reinsgate from the introductions earlier. Are you speaking to me? No, sir! Sir! I come here humbly to request of you a treasure so fine, a flame so bright. No, do not. A beauty so coveted. I would like to ask for the hand of your daughter, marriage. Ryan's face just drops. The crowd. Let you girls go out. You must be in jest, sir. I would never joke about something as serious as love. You love Eris. You love my daughter. Tell me truthfully, have you ever met her in person? Bah! Maybe we have not met, but our souls, the touch. When I saw a painting of a fair pure of art, a head of smoldering fire, it sort of like waggles about. My daughter is a great many things, a knight by her own right. She can most certainly do better than some drunken fop. You can ask her herself for her own hand, but I suspect she would kick your ass to the dirt. Fair maiden. So he's like turning, he's gonna walk back into the crowd. Buckmere pulls up his sword again, like standing ramrod straight, but still waggling. Sir! I will not stand for such a slight on my name. I challenge you to an honorable duel. Rinsgate, I tell his heavy sigh, turns and stares. Sir Buckmere, I wish not to make a bigger fool of you than you are doing yourself. You, sir, are a carouser, a ne'er-do-well, and a drunkard. But I will embarrass you if I must. And pulls out his sword as well. A circle forms.
Excellent.
And they begin rotating in place, like spiraling around this circle. Rinsgate's feet perfectly in time and place. Buckmere nearly falls over himself and impales himself on his own sword. Gets himself back. In a flash, he lunges at Rinsgate once, twice, thrice, with Rinsgate just dum 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 parries with simple ease. Rinsgate's sword flashes out, knocks Buckmere's sword right from his hand and it skitters across the ground. In swift motion, he kicks Buckmere's legs out from under him and he lands on his arse with this just exclamation of air. Rinsgate stands over him, sheaths the sword. It's all just a matter of a few seconds. And offers him his hand. Buckmere doesn't take, just spits on him. Rinsgate wipes it off his face and turns and just walks off into the crowd.
Cassian would notice that Elyse is barely containing her laughter. Just like
Everyone is just like not shocked but also elated, like
The scandal of it all.
clattering of armour as Buckmere gets to his face and has gone pale, runs out to the balcony, and you hear a hurling and a retching.
I said it would be funny when he hit the dance floor. He certainly hit it.
You see up on the steps, Haitius like resignedly like pointing to his attendants and like, go deal with that. You see two attendants go out to him and tap him on the shoulder and then be like, alright man, come on, you've had enough.
So when they were introducing people, do we have an idea of who is governors?
You got introduced to, well you didn't get but you heard the introduction of Governor Barrett Jar, and then Councillor Lothmoyer, as well as Councillor Haitius Vanden. Also Erathi, the one with the
The one with the lizard folk guard.
yes. Ashani. Sorry, Dwarf Ashani. Councillor
They're the
Ashani.
councillors.
Yeah, so there's 3 councillors and there's only 1 governor.
And they're the ones that vote for the governor.
Yes.
Yes, we will have a dance.
yeah, Elyse and Cassian have a little dance.
The music starts up again after some things are cleared. Okay.
I suppose he's not up for talking anymore.
Apparently not.
Should we meet up with the others going to speak to surveyors?
Probably.
Okay. Well, the rest are dancing. Go and speak to the Zalfirs. Imril is dancing, but Araya is there for a while, and you just missed them. They'll be back soon. And surely enough, in about 3 minutes into the dance, and you see Imril come back in, sort of. Not as bad as Buckmere, but a little bit like.
Sauced.
Well, hello.
Having a good time, are we?
I'm having a wonderful time. You all look fantastic.
Thank you.
Look as great as the day we fought those bandits together.
What day was that?
A few days ago.
No, I don't remember fighting anyone with you.
Yes, I remember it.
No,
I do.
I'm not sure.
I told all the staff about it.
How did you remember it if you were asleep?
That's true.
No, I wasn't asleep.
You were unconscious because they beat the hell out of you.
No, I rested afterwards because I expend all my energy
Because you were drunk.
and because I was drunk.
I hope you enjoyed the party.
Yes,
Great.
my parties are always wonderful.
Oh, you've got no clue where you are, do you?
You're very green.
Yes. You're purple.
Puts their hand up next to your face and just... That's funny.
Reaches for a glass of water from a tray. Here, have some more wine.
Thank you, dear. You're making quite the statement tonight, you know. All the eyes are on you.
That's how I like it.
Sorry, a little bit came up there.
Charming.
The wine's nice. It's all in the glass, you know. The shape of the glass, like, it really has something to do with it.
A real connoisseur, aren't you?
I am.
While we're dancing, I'm just looking over at these little camera and I'm just like shaking my head at you.
Ardezine's just like... resigned. Bauer is nowhere to be seen. Irea is sort of giggling to herself.
I turn to Imril and Irea and I say, would either of you like to dance?
I'd love to. Imril's like, no, I think I've had enough.
I think you've had enough too.
I need to go embarrass the Cranwells. There's only one dynasty in this city. They're not as rich as we are.
Who are the Cranwells?
Those three.
What do they do?
Out.
Professionally.
Yeah, they're pretty good at it.
I asked Araya the same question.
They, liquor, spirits, something of the sort. I'm not sure. But the three of them are in line to inherit quite the fortune. And their parents were magnates as well. But I'm sure they didn't work hard. Ardezine's like, don't worry. You work for what you got. I know. You'll take the reins when you're ready. We grew up in the same circles as them, and three of us, three of them, and you know that there is a third, Xavier as well, but Triello isn't here right now. There was always some sense of rivalry growing up, but nowadays they're no fun. They don't keep for that. They keep themselves to themselves.
What changed?
Nine hells if I know. I don't care. Imril is the one with the grudge.
The what?
Imril.
No.
They're the one with the grudge.
Why, did they best you in a fight as well?
No, the person. No, they didn't. I wouldn't stoop so low as to brawl in the streets.
Of course not.
Thank you.
Of course not. That's true. That's why you didn't fight at all last time.
Yes, exactly. I abstained. Okay, violence is never the answer. You understand?
Exactly.
Thank you, Astra. I'm glad somebody sees sense. And we'll sort of looks over to them on the other side of the ballroom and just glares at them. They don't seem to be looking. The three of them are sort of clustered together. Seem to be like talking to each other.
Looks like you're spending more energy on them than they're spending on you.
You don't know that. They might be thinking about us. Diamonds don't go out of fashion anyhow.
Wow.
I need something more to drink. Sort of pushes off and makes forward to find an attendant with some drink. Araya just rolls her eyes. Father, must I? Your inheritance depends solely on how well you can keep them in line tonight. Fine. But I'm going to dance first. And she does.
While I'm dancing with you, I'm just gonna be like, so Elyse, tiny focus.
Oh, you noticed?
It's hard not to.
It's, yeah, it's weird. I knew I couldn't put it in the bag. You know how some magic items just don't mesh well.
Yes.
And I was trying for ages to try, like, turning it invisible and all sorts of things, and then it just happened.
Your magic is very curious.
Thank you.
I do mean that as a compliment.
Okay, good. Some people don't.
Who cares what they think?
Mm.
It's just strange. Strange that you just want the magic to do it, and it does it.
It's equally strange to me, believe me.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Not like anything I've studied before.
Really?
No.
What kind of magic have you studied?
It's just the sort of stuff that I've learned.
Did you go to a college or anything, or did you just...
No. I'm an elf, Elyse. I've got lots of years to learn things.
That's true. I don't know, I didn't go to a college, I don't know what other people do.
You were born with yours, so
Yeah.
you just picked it up.
To some extent. There were some people who taught me as well, but I learned a lot on my own. Just experimented and found I could do things.
Sure. You do it well, but as I've said before, be careful with yourself.
I know what I'm doing.
As a dance with
And then the dance gets very awkward. Sorry.
yeah, so as a dance with Araya, I'm just going to ask about what her father meant by her inheritance depends on them.
It's just a little joke we have, but they're not maybe the most business-minded. Father's spoken about having me be in control of the company, the name, the title, when they retire. But they've said that's at the cost of keeping Imril under control. Tonight and for many more nights.
Ah, you're idiot.
Unfortunately. They mean well, but they're just an idiot. I do love them dearly, but I don't think they love their wine too much to... It's a shame, but I wish not to talk of it right now.
Of course. Sorry.
Your company has been very welcome these past few days.
Your invitation was very welcome. It's much appreciated.
People look good here, don't they?
They do. Is it often you find yourself at this sort of thing?
Often enough. Maybe every few months. I've never been here before.
I get the impression Valentinian doesn't host many of these.
No, he's rather reserved. Frankly, I didn't even know he had a ballroom. put it to good use, I suppose. What's he going to do otherwise? Gather dust?
Quite. And your thoughts on him as governor? I know your father's thoughts.
I think strong leadership is needed. I think Lothamwe has spent a lot of time with Berejar. I think, well, frankly, I think if Lothmere were to win, Berejar would be there, at his shoulder, providing good leadership, guidance. Things wouldn't have to change too much, you know?
And you think Valentinian will change things?
Yes. I think he'll change a lot of things.
For the worse?
No. I think he'll change things. I think a lot of people don't like that. I don't know enough to make an informed decision. I wish I did.
Just another question, it may be completely off track, but do you know anything about cats?
Like the animals? Apparently there's been a large one seen around the city.
The city below us, a large cat seen around the city?
Cats? Oh, yes, large, horrible cats, panthers.
Panthers around the city?
Yes, okay, don't believe every...
There is a lot going on here.
Supposedly someone brought some up from the Underdark.
Oh.
Ties into cats, as you said. Apologies, I misheard.
It's okay.
Cats to town? No, I don't know much. I mean, I know how people come from Carago, the Underdark, originally, but truth be tell you, I was born above the surface and I have no desire to go back under.
Quite understandable. I'm just curious about it. I've never been to the area.
Apparently it's a sight to see. I mean, you're so close to the continent below. It'd be a shame not to. I've got a lot more time than you.
Yes.
So, drow and dwarves, we have an unhealthy history with the Underdark. We left for a reason. I don't see myself wanting to spend much time there going back in, even if just the cats. I know it's a border town, but it doesn't appeal to me. Not to stay there, at least. I might pass through one day. Why, what interests you?
No, it's just curiosity. I mean, we've come all the way out here. The gates to down there are right at our disposal.
Go, see the people. They have forests down there which grow without sunlight. Apparently they're incredible. The blue leaves, the bushes you saw out the front of the manor here, they're from down below, I believe. I mean, sometimes this place feels like it belongs down below. And very little sunlight here works for me. I don't take well to it.
I'm sure. And Bronze Harbour?
Bronze Harbour. It's the family home. It's a bit sunnier than here. I don't like that, but that's where trade is based out of. Unfortunately, pirates are a problem as well. Coast of the city. But, you know, you get to go through the Marlborough salt flats on your way there, and that's sure something.
I'm sure it's a vision.
Miles and miles and miles of salt, as far as the eye can see.
Oh, hi.
Miles of salt, as far as the eye can see.
Thanks for the call out.
There are some charming little mining towns on the flats, though, before you get to Bronze Harbour.
Yeah, you sound absolutely charmed by them.
No. I'm in no rush to get back there, but business is business. And many of our clients and sales and voice will be over there.
I understand. And anyone else you'd have us speak to here? You think we should?
Those two girls are still looking at Boblem.
Well, Boblem's quite a sight.
Boblem is a sight. He's very tall and very handsome.
He'd dance with you too if you asked.
I might do just that.
Boblem!
Yeah?
Come here. Cut in for me.
What? Okay.
I'm going to pass her hair up to Boblem. Sort of walk around.
She dances with you. She doesn't get as close. Presses up up against as close as the others did, but looks in your eyes and maintains eye contact while she dances as well. She's a very good dancer. She's very graceful.
Respectful.
Walk past the twins on my way back to the bar and just be like, you've got competition.
Their faces just drop.
I told you balls could be fun if you stir the drama.
Those balls.
Why am I expecting?
You hear them muttering in a language you don't understand, and they both like peel off and go to opposite sides of the room.
They're using pack tactics.
They roll with advantage.
And then I would just get myself a drink or several.
Yeah. Okay. You come up by the drinks table, and all of you sort of convene once more. Those of you who aren't dancing, you see Ewell Lothmore in conversation with a woman in like her early 40s, little muttering stuff like under their breath.
Move slightly further down and try and hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
Make a perception check.
Pilger from dance would also like to have a listen.
Okay, make a perception check.
15.
Advantage, remember.
Oh.
Would you get 15?
15.
Okay.
One was 10 and one was 11.
Okay. So you're not able to hear anything, unfortunately. There's a bit too much going on at the moment. But you're able to pick up some bits. This woman in her early 40s, tan skin, dark hair, up with crystal tip pins, this dark grey floor-length dress that's like shimmering in the candlelight shifts to like a brighter silver, wearing a mask of the same like fabric material, but lacquered and kept in form somehow. Lothmore, my dear, you look positively dreadful. What in Caldera could be the matter? Absolutely, nothing, my lady. I simply came to inform, for the love of Arathis, speak up, man. I came to regretfully inform that there have been some unexpected delays to the works you requested. Often my disappointment is immeasurable. I have teams of miners already on standby. What do you expect me to do? Send them away? Pay them to stand around and scratch their asses while you fail to deliver me what you promised? I say, Ewell, this would not be a promising start to your term as governor. Ensure that it gets sorted out. And just pushes slightly on his chest and walks past him.
I'm going to reach for something near him and accidentally bump his arm and just be like, apologies.
Good. And just sort of looks into his wine glass and swirls it around. Looks like he's gazing around the ballroom, looks like he's desperately looking for someone, just biting his bottom lip. You see bags under his eyes. His mask completely gone. No idea where it is.
Having a good time?
Yes. These events are always, fun. And you?
Of Of course, they're always fun.
And sort of at you. Some say it's quite politically brave of me to go to my competition's soiree.
But, you know, you need to be bold to be governor.
I do.
I'm going to sort of pull into the conversation at this point. A man has to make decisions if he wants to be in charge.
He does. I assume I can count on both your votes, sirs.
Oh, you can pitch yourself to me.
Well, promise strong leadership. I promise a wealth of experience, support from the Eye of Tears. I have the ear of the governor. I have the ear of the family Moran. Sort of just marks on his forehead like look like a salute. I can get things done. I know people in the right places.
So you're mostly well acquainted with the current powers that be?
Very much so. Very much so. Spent a lot of time at Jar's right hand, I would say. Learned his ways. Shadebourne's strong. Shadebourne's prosperous. If you want to keep it that way, I'm the man for the job.
What do you make of all these companies leaving the city? It's not doing much for your economy.
It's absolutely not. We'll bring new people in.
From where?
We'll call further afield, wherever needs be. We'll remove some of the barriers to entry. Have people who can really afford to live in the city, you know, and don't bring it down. Spend money in the city. Money goes round, finds itself in the right places. Clean up the streets, you know. Get the filth out.
So as opposed to abolishing the lower tiers, you would simply make them richer so those who can't afford to stay there would be forced to leave.
That's a good way of putting it.
Interesting choice of tactics.
There are people who deserve a spot in the city and deserve to reap the benefits of what we sow, and there are people who don't. There are people who make contributions, and there are people who don't. I'm not so blind as to pretend that there isn't.
Yes.
And I suspect most of the people here aren't. A Valentinian can harp on with his spiel about how the lower tiers can't help themselves. But you know what? I think they won't. I think they're too accustomed to having everything handed out to them. Mouthlet begins twitching. I think we need to stop picking them up and
money is its own kind of power. It's like a blood that flows through the city.
Exactly.
Forgive me, don't think of this as a handout, but as a gift from a like-minded individual. Give
I
him the
appreciate that.
bracelets.
Takes it and puts it on. Clammy yellowing hands with like brownish fingernails. And I was saying, the Valentinian harps on about how he's going to help these people, how they deserve it more than everyone else, but look at this place, look at this opulence. He's a hypocrite. What's he done? What's he done, really?
Ah, surely just the delusions of an old man.
Precisely. Sort of just glowers over to them and
Speaking of helping the people down there,
no,
what's your take on the murders?
unfortunate I suppose, but garbage will take itself out.
Do I believe that's all he thinks?
Make an insight check.
I'm gonna roll this at advantage with another superiority dice. 14.
14. Doesn't seem to pay it any mind. His
Okay.
sort of expression doesn't change anymore. He probably really doesn't give a shit.
Okay. And that wonderful woman you were standing with before.
Manolin. Ansika Manolin. She's influential.
Hmm.
She's someone who's... I have her ear. Owes me favours. Okay? You vote for me, you're voting for the power, the influence of people like Manolin, of people in this room who get things done around this city.
A more united Shadebourne.
Exactly. People who pull themselves up by their bootstraps and really drive things forward.
Who works for what they got.
Exactly. Exactly.
Fenner's lips twitch and he turns away just like charming speaking with you.
Pleasure. I hope I can count on your support.
I'm sure you'll be hearing from us soon.
Sort of like taps you on the shoulder and moves past.
Try not to flinch.
I feel gross.
Zoom away with you.
Reconvenes with you having watched you do this.
Yeah, I guess would have been nearby. He seemed charming.
Well, that didn't feel as good as I thought it would.
What did he say?
Disgusting man.
L.
You think he's the L?
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 I'm sorry, we picked up all of the contracts out of the... a lot of my voice, out of the Weeping Eye Barracks.
Yeah.
Look around, make sure nobody's listening.
Make a perception check.
I don't like these rolls you're doing.
I want to do one as well.
I think it's fun.
Boblem make one with advantage.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, I just rolled a natural 20.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sorry.
Sure, no, it's fine. If you're older.
There are
25.
a couple of attendants who are within earshot, and one looks like they're very directly staring away from you, but their eyes are like wide.
I think we should talk about this later, somewhere else.
Look around.
We could go to the balcony.
There's his
Eyes and
everywhere,
ears
Boblem.
everywhere.
Never mind.
It is a lot more secluded out there, to be fair. Like, if you were to be out there and whispering, people wouldn't be hearing you.
I could play some music to distract.
Or draw more attention.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, there's no music playing right now.
We could play music a little bit away from us.
Exactly.
Never mind, we can talk about this later.
Yes. Well,
Save it for the barracks.
I'm gonna watch that attendant.
yeah, what race, etc. are they?
A human, young man, maybe like 18 or 19, cleanly shaved, like slick back hair, like looking very tidy, and sort of just like gone back to what they were doing and like just serving drinks around. Like you're able to sort of keep eyes on them throughout the evening.
That man was rather unpleasant.
I'm sure he was.
Sorry, we should continue with the evening.
You okay? Should we try and talk to the councillors, see if they can change their mind?
Well, that was one of them.
The unpleasant man?
Yes.
I take it there was no changing his mind.
I don't think he had much of a mind.
No, and he seems to have the favour of everyone else because he'll just do the same as the current governor.
Like a puppet.
Like a puppet.
That's exactly what he is.
And you'll just keep things the way they want them, right?
Clear out everyone from the lower tiers.
Well, I did hear some people saying they feel like Valentinian is promising. But,
He won't get their votes. He's not talking money. If they even bother voting at all.
It's the thing, isn't it? And also, you never know, people might say one thing and then do another. It's all airs and graces here, right?
That one guest earlier, why should it affect me? Why should I vote?
Oh god.
Is that is the Has the Duchess returned from her?
You'd have seen her back and about. Yeah.
Interesting.
Make an insight check. Yeah, if you're looking at it.
9.
Looks a little flustered.
Yeah, I figured.
I bet.
What's she doing at the moment?
Right now, just sort of schmoozing with the first man who was sort of like paying her attention before, and it seems like one or two of his like lackeys.
That's the one that she said she.
She was like, he's boring me, and he was trying to flirt with her.
Harold.
Got a better idea. We're gonna walk right over to them.
Bold.
Join at them. Greetings. Hello. Pleasure to meet you all. Introductions are given. Something like that. So nice to have you here.
Nice to be here.
Murray looks a bit like fine, like so nice of you to join our conversation so unexpectedly.
Seems to be the way here.
Yes, I suppose so. How are you finding the event?
Beautiful.
Charming.
Really is, isn't it? Yes, it's quite something.
You enjoying it?
Of course. I've had quite my fill this evening.
Do you come to many parties here in Shadebourne?
The occasion. I'm not here all too often. My husband has business. He has decided not to grace us with his presence, for which I can only apologize.
Where might you be from if you're not from Shadebourne?
Riven.
Yeah. Lovely city.
You're familiar?
I have cousins there.
Ha! How wonderful. It's the architecture is really something, and the weather is much nicer.
Much more sunshine.
Exactly. Exactly. You should visit sometime. You should see the city for yourself.
Sarah loops her arm around Vanden's again.
Apologies, who's your husband?
Duke Ginalon.
Gino. Okay.
Ada Ginalon.
Do I know the name? Okay.
You wouldn't have heard it before.
And what business does he have exactly that he can't be here tonight?
So like taps her fingers on the side of the glass, a long nail, I was like clicking on it. To tell you the truth, I don't know. He said he would meet me here.
How
And he's
rude.
not shown up. Fortunately, I found very pleasant company here, elsewhere, and very sort of like smiles and like puffs up his chest and sort of like a withering smile at him. And you see her look out. Those of you who saw her conversation before, right, to look out, follow the track of her eyes, and see the other woman like stabbing her arm. Or he has no idea. There are lots of faces I don't recognize. There's 6 of you, and some of them.
Well, a lot of them are masked, to be fair.
You make a good point. A lot of names and voices I don't recognize.
We're here with the Zaviers.
Now that is a name I recognize. They're nice folks.
Yeah.
Yes, I've done business with the Zaviers before. Is that so? Barry? Yes, I'm quite the merchant in some circles.
Right, well, the question wasn't really aimed at you, was it?
No, but I just thought I'd relate it.
You know, why don't you go get your lady friend here a drink?
I was just going to suggest that. Of course. Glares at you like you see Ginala like crack a smile. Please. I believe there was something in the cellar. So the kitchen staff add on all. Thank you. My ladies, gentlemen, thank you. That's not the first time that little maggot has tried to call on to me tonight. I'm sure it shan't be the last.
It looked like you needed saving.
I'm no damsel in distress, but it was appreciated.
Yes. Why not go get lost in the crowd before he finds his way back to you?
That's a good idea. I see some familiar faces. Thank you for your time.
Give her a necklace.
That is very beautiful.
Remember, you have no friends tonight.
Puts it away, just like tucks it up her sleeve, like doesn't put it on. Tucks it up. And smiles and walks away. You see her sort of like move into the crowd, and you see two of the Cranwell siblings sort of like step around her. The male one with a cane sort of like walking through and take up position about 15 feet from you. Okay. You know, another dance, the third one and final one, is taking up soon in about 10 minutes.
Well, she seemed charming.
Yes. I suppose the night is starting to come to an end.
It's still got a fair few hours, so at this point
It's just the last sort of form.
yeah, the last official dance.
Okay.
So it's 10:20 right now.
Okay.
Ooh.
Mhm. So you've been there for like 3 hours or so.
Well, I definitely want to join the last dance.
Yeah, why not? It's the last one.
We should.
You see a number of the attendants look like they're setting something out, although you can't make out what it is on the south terrace.
Vanden, will you dance with me?
Of course.
Lay it out.
Astra? It's agreed.
A gentleman's agreement.
Elyse,
Of course.
let's go.
Okay. You dance and take to the music once more. You see pretty much everyone by this point is joining in on the final dance. There are only a few people who aren't. Of ones you recognise, you see Stormcaller Lamello sort of keeping to herself. The elf in the whose name you didn't get, in the long white dress with the blonde hair, sort of keeping to herself as well, and just like making conversation with a bunch of the attendants, it seems. And then the Cranwells sort of like rotating between each other, and one going off to talk with other guests, and the other two sticking together at most points. And half hour of dancing goes by. Are you doing anything particular while you dance? Saying anything?
Sariel, are you okay?
I don't know. Heard a name that I didn't expect to hear.
Anything we can do?
I'm not sure. I don't know how she's connected.
Okay. We can talk about it later if you want.
Alright. Thank you.
Try to enjoy the rest of the evening. I know this isn't your thing.
I know it's not your thing either.
No.
Are you
Just a
doing
few more hours to get through.
Are you doing alright?
I'm okay. The mask is comforting. I feel like we should speak to everyone, but I don't know if that's just trained into me at this point.
No, I think it would be a good idea. Gather what we've learned.
Right. There's so much I want to talk about. I'm not used to anymore, not just being able to talk with you five openly.
The sooner we can get back to our barracks, the better.
Yes. Let's hope the night passes uneventfully from here on out.
You said that and I looked dead into the camera like,
What could possibly go wrong?
nothing!
Absolutely nothing.
Such a nice evening at the ball,
Tell that to Jane.
Yeah, it's a lovely evening at the ball. What of it?
It is a
Girls
lovely
are going to fight over you.
Yeah. That's the ballroom blitz.
Yes! The best development of the evening.
Anyway.
Anyway. I'm just dancing with you, having a jolly time.
Yeah, we've probably had a nice time dancing. I kind of glance over at Vanden and Sariel a few times and just go back to Astra.
while Elyse and Boblem are dancing,
Yeah.
she'll just be like, "You've got no love interest tonight. I saw."
I don't know what's going on. Very confused.
What's there to be confused about?
They're looking at me.
Yeah,
Why?
because you're good looking and tall and nice, and they want to dance with you.
He just keeps getting more and more red in the face the more you keep describing that. Ow! Oh.
Did you not?
I don't know, maybe they wanted to know some secrets and I don't really have secrets to share.
The secret of your travelling farm. They want it.
She did ask about it. I don't know what's the secret about it, it just does what it does. You enjoying yourself?
Strangely, yes. Didn't think I would, but
Yeah? Thought you'd appreciate the fight earlier.
it was very funny.
I'm surprised it wasn't you taking him up on his offer to duel.
Sword fighting duels aren't really my thing, but you know, I probably could have bested him.
Could have taken him even without the sword.
Yeah,
In fact, I think the floor could have taken him
yeah,
by on its own.
yeah. Just a good wax sheen on it is enough. You know?
Nice.
Yeah, it's been a good night.
Yeah, I've had fun.
I'm glad.
Dancers finish up. You turn back and more food is brought through, and now, as is traditional with dwarven meals and custom, it's essentially like the main courses and large like racks of pig and trays of vegetables brought out, along with like cakes and sweets and desserts and around the side, and people begin replenishing their energy around the sides of the ballroom.
I'd like to make my way towards the white-haired elf who said hello briefly as we passed through the doorway.
Yeah. Alright, make an investigation check.
Ooh. 8. That is a investigation 17.
You don't see her around.
Oh.
No. It's thinning out a little bit after the final dance. Seems like some people are sticking around for food, but there are a lot of people on the south terrace. But no, it doesn't seem like you can see her now.
Can we see like a clear idea of what they were setting up?
Now it's a little bit clearer. It looks almost like a stage and barriers. Like a stage inside like a barriered off area, like barriered by like velvet ropes.
Do we see the people, the person that came in with 2 lizard guard folk?
Shani, yeah, you see her around, out on the south terrace, sort of like watching this construction with a very eager eye.
And they announced her as Ashani.
Yeah, Ashani.
Ashani.
And is Lamello still around at all?
You don't see her now.
I believe that's one of the counselors as well.
Oh, well, we haven't spoken to.
Yeah.
Then we should, and I could do with some air.
Let's go. On the way out, I'm going to grab another drink.
Okay.
They're free. So.
They are.
Do they have bottles at the table as well?
Probably, yeah, but behind things where they are like poured for you.
Okay.
So take note of the stage as we head out. I don't know if they're going to be doing speeches or something.
Maybe.
You see rectangular stage, and it looks like 2 large bowls on either side. One like longer and wider, and one sort of smaller, more like a brazier almost. Stage about like 20 feet apart.
Well, we should find out. We walk up to Ishani.
You get close to her, and the lizard folk sort of close ranks in front of it. Gentlemen, enough with this camaraderie. You don't need it. Look back to her. Open ranks and good evening.
Evening.
Everyone there?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I'll say
hello.
Pleasure.
say good evening in Dwarven, because she was brought for it.
Yeah. Replies back and takes off like the war mask and puts it down. You see like a refined, like stern-looking face. And enjoying the night's festivities?
Pleasantly so.
Good.
It's been quite interesting.
Glad you think so.
I'm going to take my mask off as well. She's taking hers off.
A fair amount of people have taken it
I
off
do
by this
too.
point.
Getting sweaty in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just kind of wipe the face down a little bit.
Why on earth Haitius thought a mask ball was a good idea? No idea.
Especially announcing everyone on the way in.
I know, it's silly, don't you think?
I think it made everyone look mysterious and interesting.
Well, I guess so.
It's an aesthetic choice.
Is this your first masquerade, sir?
It is, yes.
Then I can see why you think that. I'm glad.
Are there any other Valentinians' values that you disagree with?
Oh, well, it's right to the point, I
I do
suppose.
like to get right to the point. Night's winding down after all.
I've got to say, you strike quite the figure.
Like to leave a lasting memory.
He's how do I say this? A young blood. I think with time he could make a good governor, but is the time right now? I don't know. I think he needs to fail a few times, as we all do, before we can really succeed.
Do you like the other candidate more then?
Well, there's Lothmuir, and then there's two others as well who aren't here, whose names I will pull up in a minute.
Looks as much handwriting. I love them all equally.
That's me not being able to remember. I can't say I'm particularly fond of Lothmuir. His nose is so far up Berrett's arse. I promised I wouldn't speak out of turn.
He does seem a bit like a puppet to me.
Well, that's certainly not mincing any words, sir.
We're very open here.
Oh, sorry, maybe I shouldn't.
No, please. Please.
What are your policies then?
Well, I'm Overseer General. I'm not running for election this year, but I'll be keeping my position as councillor, and my interests lie in defence of the city. Generally what I oversee. And as long as we continue to get our budget, if we can put more guards on streets and...
Well, Valentinian said that was exactly what he wanted to do.
It is, and it's something, one of his things that appeals to what I wish to see done, but there are other people who have other ideas and other missives, but I would be remiss to speak so openly about them without them here. My mind's in a few places on who to vote for. Frankly, I'm getting tired of politics. I hate to see people arguing this way or that way.
It is exhausting. Well, let's change the conversation from politics then. Any idea what this is?
There's going to be a fight, I believe. A spectacle for our entertainment.
Oh, fighting?
Like a duel?
I suppose so.
Like the one earlier?
A sort of staged fight?
Staged? No, I believe these creatures are really going to have it out with each other.
Creatures?
Be fantastic. And no, not like earlier, I suppose.
What kind of creatures?
Raw elemental energy.
What?
Bound spirits of water and flame are to fight.
Why?
Why not?
Entertainment.
Exactly. Water and flame are common enemies. It's bound to be something.
Well, that sure is extravagant.
It was actually my request.
Interesting.
Haitius wasn't too pleased, but this isn't about Haitius.
What's it about?
You said it yourself. Entertainment. People come here to be entertained. If Haitius wants to grease the right wheels, he has to make a lasting memory for people. Stupid little sod thought wine and pork was enough. Told him you need to put on a show. This whole thing's a show, okay? You can tell that to him if you get the chance.
And who's regulating it?
Well, I'm certainly not going to be getting in the way of it. As far as regulation as such, this isn't a conventional bout.
And if they grow angry and turn on the party guests?
There are mages within our ranks who will be curtailing them.
Interesting.
Oh, excuse me. Van's just gonna walk back inside.
After they've said that, you look at the bowl and the brazier that you see, and the bowl is slightly reminiscent of what you saw the Eyes of Sanskrit use when they pulled out this bowl and rang it by hitting it with something, and it conjured a water elemental. But this looks a lot bigger. Whereas that was something you could hold in your hand. This is like the size of a tub.
Okay.
Almost.
Yeah.
Gonna fall inside.
You see, lined up against like the back wall of the balcony as well, dozens and dozens of what look like wooden tubes pointing upwards and sort of arrayed out and like fanned out, which are kept separate as well. Look to be like packed with something, but you can't work out what.
Can we look any closer, or is it not?
Oh, it's very barriered off.
Okay.
It's very barriered off.
Okay.
It smells slightly familiar to you. It reminds you of like being at sea.
Doesn't seem like the most pleasant end to the evening, does it?
No, I don't like it. Sorry. I shouldn't have just walked away like that. I shouldn't have just walked away like that.
Sometimes you need to.
It's just making me uncomfortable.
I can see why.
Fine, I probably just need a moment.
No. It seems a bit... Well, it goes without saying, it seems a bit cruel to summon spirits just to make them fight.
Van's looking pretty pale. Do I know, can I think what that smell is?
Gunpowder.
This is stupid of him.
Probably. And even if they turn around and kill someone, it's their own damn fault.
Unlace me.
Alright, put your hands against the wall.
No. Just undo it. It's too tight.
Okay. Definitely undoes the intricate knots that I did. Want to tie it back off, or do you want it off?
Off.
Right. I'll help you out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, better.
Following you in now from the outside.
Yeah.
Just looking angry.
Yeah.
Everyone's chatting like, excitedly, like, moving around, like mingling with people. You see Haitius and Laurel up at the top of the steps, just sort of like looking out over everything. Like Haitius looking fairly, not stern, but just tired look on his face, and Laurel with like a big smile, like, waving to people as they come up. Is there anyone you're looking out for in particular?
I want to start going up towards Haitius.
You walk up the steps. My tall green friend.
Hello again.
How are you doing?
I was doing alright.
Oh, until...
Well, for someone with a lot of empathy like yourself, the fact you've agreed to have two creatures fight outside doesn't quite line up.
I've not fully agreed to it, but unfortunately there are people who have powers above mine. She's the Overseer General. She's second only to the Governor. I'm not gonna get in her way. Besides, they're not creatures, it's flame and water. They don't feel.
How do you know?
That's what she told me.
And she told you the sky was green?
There's no need for that, Tom.
Sorry.
No, I'm not comfortable with it.
And what if it turns on the crowd? Whose fault is that going to be?
There are people here to curb those things. Should they get aggressive, and people will be far enough away. It's a show, nothing more. They're bound.
By what?
I don't know how it works. I'm not a mage. I don't understand any of this. Laurel pipes up. You'll be safe, don't worry.
Not my safety I'm worried about.
Everyone here will be safe. It's just a show, and frankly I'm more worried about those blasted things that'll be shooting up into the sky. That's what scares me.
What things?
Points out. You see the tubes racked up and arrayed? It's technology they've drawn from cannons and firearms. And shoot up into the skies and rain down lights. Supposedly it's going to be beautiful. A real spectacle to end the night on. But I don't like it.
No.
I've seen far too much of warfare to see it as a spectacle.
Seems like you've allowed a lot of danger into your home.
Sometimes you have to allow danger in to get anywhere. Some people call it stupidity. I didn't say that. No, you didn't need to.
But I would agree.
I'll be sticking back here, watching from afar. I can see you're not comfortable. Neither am I. Sometimes we have to let people get what they want in order to get what we want. I'd rather see two things fight if it's the first thing, if it's the first step on the path to a better place. Hell, I'd rather watch 1,000 spirits perish before I see more people in this city starve. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree your heart's in the right place, wanted to help people. I just don't think why anything else should suffer for it.
No, you're right. In an ideal world. This isn't an ideal world. This is Shadebourne. Come on, love. Let's. Bye. We'll be taking our leave.
Thank you for the evening.
Enjoy the night. You needn't stay and watch the spectacle. Some people have gone home already. Those three look like they're gearing up to go soon anyhow. It all like looks out over the Cranwells, which is all like skulking in the corner. They head down the stairs, into the crowd. You glean from information that's probably a little while still before the fight is due.
Well, I suppose the only people we haven't spoken to yet are the Cranwells that seem to be scowling over everything at the moment.
Our most sworn enemies.
So perhaps we should get to know why.
You go and you see the taller one of the three sort of mingled her way into the crowd and is making pleasantries with everyone and very, very like strikingly beautiful. You see roots of elvish and dwarvish heritage in both of them. It's mostly human, but obviously lineage is going way back, and you see the two twins sort of just looking over everything with drinks in hand. Man drinking a glass of like red wine. And the woman doesn't seem to be drinking anything. So he's wearing a black tunic and a dark grey side cape with a white fur trim. And she has a matching fur wrap around her shoulders, a light grey dress fading to purple around her ankles. They both have the grey half mask of ivory embellished with dark purple stones. She says, "There's a lot of people here I don't recognise." "You're right. These events tend to usually draw the same crowd. I'm surprised to see so many new faces." "Are you doing well? You look pained." "I'm not sure if that's just your face being what it is." "You're quite the jester. I'll get through. Wine helps. This piss poor food doesn't, though. I've half a mind to head to the kitchens and find a rack of some real meat." "You can't be serious. For one, Belladonna will lose her mind if you abscond. You know how important she thinks this is. Secondly, what are you going to do if the kitchen boy finds you tearing into the beef like some animal?" Guy stays silent, side-eyeing her. "Don't even think about it. This isn't the time or place to make a mess." She gives him a look and then she stalks off. You see him look around and make a beeline through the crowd to where you've seen the staff bringing food out of. Presumably leading to the kitchen or something.
This is charming.
A short while passes and the older sister sort of emerges and looks like frowning. The younger one sort of, oh dear, doesn't look like she can see the brother. You see the older sister, tall, beautiful, high cheekbones and sort of dark hair falling in waves down to her shoulders. Just radiates confidence and calm pride, the sense that she knows what she's about. Wears an ivory, floor-length, sleeveless dress, thin lace mask of black, easily seen through. "Maculata, you were supposed to keep him under control. Where in the nine hells is he?" "He's fine. He was on the terrace, but I can't see him now. He must have snuck off to the kitchens. Said he can't be dealing with this pretentious tripe they're calling food." "You've got to be kidding me. Stars above, we're supposed to present a good showing to the people here. A cohesive unit ready to lead the most important families in Shadebourne. How are we supposed to do that if 1/3 of us are not present? And even worse, scoffing extras like a pig in front of the kitchen staff." "Fine! I'll find him. I'll track him back. But you know he won't be happy. If he lashes out, it's on you. You'd best see to it that he doesn't. He won't be the one you have to live in fear of. Go!" And she puts her drink down next to where the other one was left. And both just stalk off.
"Should we go help her?" Boblem whispers.
What? Track down that wretch who wants to stuff his face in the kitchens?
No, clearly we talked to the confident older one.
If he wants to get himself into a mess, that's not our problem.
He just seemed off.
Yeah.
I agree.
You walk with sort of very much like a determination.
Was he limping a little bit?
Make a perception check.
I did think something.
19.
He was limping.
Yes, Boblem.
He was limping.
He had a cane as well.
Oh.
And the way he was speaking seemed odd, and how hungry he seemed.
That's all things we've heard about before. Let's go.
Can we go subtly somehow though?
Michael. I'm sure there are ways. So we saw him directly head towards the kitchens.
Yeah,
basically. Are there any other? Is it just one set of doors, or are there multiple?
There are. So where the stairs are, they're basically underneath those. There's two on either side. Sorry, two into it, one on either side. Yeah. As you're sort of conferring, an attendant comes up to you and sort of, my lords, ladies, So, Vanden of House Argenford?
Yes.
I have a message for you. Yeah. You have allies in Shadebourne, my lord. My lady Hulla Brightspear has news for you. Meet her on the east balcony terrace. All of you can be there.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Is that now or?
I believe so.
Do you know what it is?
I'm sure we can determine where the east terrace will be.
No, do you know who that is?
Do I know who that is? I've never heard the name before in my life.
Make an intelligence check. This is just to sort of piece together when she was announced, and
6.
don't know if anyone else wants to try and recall.
Try.
I'll say one person representing the whole group.
Who's got
I've got a +2.
Hang on.
I think you're
My intelligence is +2.
Oh, what's it? +3.
Hey!
Yeah, you go.
14.
The elf who passed you before, with a long blonde hair.
one.
White dress, long blonde hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like gold, like bracelets all up her arm. I can escort you.
I think I should do that first. I think we should.
Just kind of glances towards the doors to the kitchen, I guess.
We can always go back to that.
Yeah, at least we know Cromwell as the name.
But we don't know anything for sure though.
No, but just to keep an eye on.
Yeah. Right, let's go.
They lead you off, and yeah, they don't look like the attendant you saw before. This one's like maybe like a man, like he's like late 30s or something. Whereas most of the rest of the attendants are like fairly young. They lead you up onto the balcony through the door that you came through, and then like look up and down and open a door and lead you through the house. You walk through more carpeted floors, your footsteps like sinking into the silence now. It leads you through the house, bring you through like past beautiful rooms, gorgeous lavish interiors. After a couple of minutes you come up and you see on a different side of the house, the east terrace. You see double doors. You walk through the doors onto the east terrace, a view looking out over the tiers of the city far below. You see this lady, Hulla Brightspear, stand up from the bench she is at, a mixture of concern and relief on her face as she sees you enter. You see a small scroll in her left hand, and by her side, a well-dressed dwarven bodyguard. She takes a half step forward and stops herself, and my lords, my ladies, I'm so glad you came. I have worrying news of your brother. And she sort of like holds the scroll out in a trembling hand.
I take it.
You walk up to her, you unfurl the scroll, your heart pounding. You see what is clearly a scrap piece of paper with nothing legible on it. You look up, confused, to see the glamour drop from Hulla Brightspear as you feel a punch in your gut. The rest of you hear the double doors slam and see the figures who are standing behind them. You see a large feline shape twist itself out of the shadows. As the glamour drops from Hulla Brightspear, you see the face of Varen Greywood, the second in command to Lady Turquoise who you met back in Sanskrit. You see two thin, golden blades protruding out of Vanden's back. I'm just going to take the average damage for this, okay?
Okay.
You take 78 points of damage.
What?
Are you up?
No.
Vanden's body goes limp. You see a blur of gold, and Varen spins with him, just launching his unresponsive body over the terrace balcony.
Boblem! Back!
You see the gold bracelets on her right hand, which can join to form this sleek gauntlet, two blades extending from her middle and index finger, just softly dripping blood. The rest of the group circle you, the displaced piece slinking into and out of view. Varen is stalking towards you, her heels clicking on the terrace. The dress she is not wearing, she is wearing dark, banded, black leather armour. Light grows and swells in the sky behind Varen, lighting up the darkness beyond her. Something bright streaks upwards into the sky, a burning comet quickly ascending, growing in intense illumination before arcing down and crashing onto the terrace. Vanden stands before you, his shirt shredded and soaked in blood. Two heavy, enormous, copper-feathered wings unfurled from his shoulder blades. His eyes burn with a fierce golden light, and burning coppery light surrounds him. And that's where we'll end the session. April Fool's, y'all! We were the Force! On that note, thank you very much. Thank you very much for playing. That was amazing. Thank you for watching. We hope to see you again next week. Thank you for being part of our story. We love you very, very much.
Blessed evening, friends. It's Sariel. We hope you enjoyed your night at the ball, though ours has certainly taken quite a turn. If you dressed up for tonight's episode, or designed your own outfit, we would love to see your images, so show us on social media with the hashtag LOTPBall. We can't wait to see you in your finery. You can show your support for our series on Patreon at patreon.com/NyxRising, where you can find our latest behind the scenes for Life of the Party. Special thanks as always to our executive producers, Leah Moran, Emily Hogarth, Caitlin Ferguson, and Alexandra Johnson. Until next time, be brave, and we'll see you on Wednesday.